Guys, big breaking news, World War III update. Russia mocks US commander, paper tiger remark. It's over between these two. Alright, and what's coming next? Well, we already talked about that. The US commander makes major shift on Russia and Ukraine war. Alright, so we're gonna get to both of these news. Once again, the bear is responding. They are responding to Donald's statement. All right, and you guys already know Donald said that Ukraine could take back their territory, and we're gonna be sending weapons. It's gonna go to NATO. NATO, you do whatever you want with that. We're gonna be backing Ukraine. All right, so Russia's coming out today, and they are responding to that. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19 number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Thank you again for your support. Your support is what keeps us on air. A Kremlin spokesman has rejected the U.S. commander characterization of Russia as a paper tiger, noting that the country is traditionally seen as a bear, the bear, not a tiger. And there are no paper bears. Wow. Reminding Donald, hey, we're not the tiger here. Do we look like Persia to you? We are the bear. So Dmitry, spokesman for the Russian leader, was responding to remarks on Tuesday by a U.S. commander who has grown increasingly frustrated with Vladimir as he seeks to broker an end to the bear war in Ukraine. Now, the bear has intensified the war as the U.S. commander tries to end it. The U.S. commander was referring to the bear inability to defeat Ukraine since Vladimir ordered his forces to invade in February, and the U.S. commander comments appeared to signal a sharp shift from his earlier calls for Ukraine to make concessions. So once again, guys, it seems like it's over between the U.S. commander and the bear leader. All right, so what's coming next? Well, we're going to find out, guys. I just posted a video that the U.S. just fired multiple unarmed nukes out there in the Atlantic, along with the Trident II in Puerto Rico. All right, and last night, I posted a video on this channel. There was some nuclear attack drills going on over France. All right, so we are definitely seeing some very powerful stuff, training going on. Nuclear submarines and all this, bombers, nuclear bombers. So the bear is by no means a tiger. After all, the bear is more associated with a bear. There are no paper bears, and the bear is a real bear, the Kremlin spokesman said, as reported by TASS, a state-run news agency in Moscow. This is a response to the U.S. commander. This is a major response to the U.S. commander. Peskov said that Vladimir has repeatedly and with varying emotion described our bear. You can recall this for yourself. There's nothing paper-based here. The bear maintains its reliance. The bear maintains microeconomic stability, Dmitry added, apparently referring to the U.S. commander assertion on Tuesday that the bear was in big economic trouble. And I've been telling you guys this. Again, Donald is being fed a lot of some baloney stuff. All right, so Donald believes over 1 million of the bear has lost their lives, which is baloney. All right, so they really giving him the wrong info here. So is the bear economy in trouble? Well, there's a possibility it may be, because their oil facility is getting hit, all right? And that's basically where they get their money profit to continue these wars, all right? But, again, they're still powerful. They have bricks. They back their currency with gold. All right, so they still have allies like the Red Dragon and others. The US commander is pushing European allies to end their imports of all Russian oil and gas and said the US would follow their lead on tougher sanctions against the Red Dragon, Moscow, key strategic partner. You're going to tell Europe to stop buying oil and gas knowing that winter is coming. Donald, it gets cold in Europe. Oh, it gets really cold. Much colder than North America. All right, they do need to have oil, but again, I don't know how they're gonna do it unless we give them our oil and gas, the emergency ones, which Joe has been doing since the biblical war began in 2022. It says here Peskov said that the U.S. commander is a businessman and is trying to make the world buy more expensive. There you go. I mentioned that. And trying to make Europe buy the sleeping giant oil and gas. I did mention that. Now, I think Joe gave our stuff for free. So, but Donald is not Joe. Donald's like, you want stuff, you pay me. All right, Peskov also said that Vladimir appreciates the U.S. commander's willingness to find a solution to the Ukraine conflict and that a settlement will coincide with a revival of U.S. and the Bear relations. The U.S. commander the U.S. commander in a marked change from his earlier position wrote on his Truth Social platform that he thinks Ukraine, with the help of European NATO allies, can win back all of the territory seized by the Bear. They can't win that back unless the U.S. intervene. And if that happens, well, that's WW3. And if that happens, well, there's going to be mushroom clouds. And if that happens, well, the sun will be blocked, the crops will be out, the water will be bitter, wormwood, it will be poison, the air will be contaminated, everybody will go to bunkers, and you guys already know it's just not going to be good. It's like Albert Einstein said, World War IV will be fought with stick and stones. It says here the Bear has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years as war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. This is not distinguishing the Bear. In fact, it is very much making them look like a paper tiger, the U.S. commander wrote. Now, the U.S. commander has for months been pressing Ukraine to make concessions and floating the idea of territorial swap with the Bear. Now, the U.S. commander changing stance on the Bear-Ukraine war signals a major shift in the U.S. foreign policy with global implications. In other words, Donald has a change of heart. Donald is like, I could stop this. I could take down the Bear. No, you can't, Donald. If you try to take down the Bear will also take down the sleeping giant, and then it will be bad. Again, what people don't know is the Bear is a very powerful nation. Very powerful nation. Give me a second here, guys. I'm going to have to read this part because of the advertisement going on and stuff like that. The U.S. commander shared the new position in a social media post shortly after meeting with Ukrainian leader on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. Now it says here, the U.S. commander wrote on Truth Social on Tuesday, I think, meaning, again, he's not 100% for sure, I think Ukraine, with the support of European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form, with time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and its particular NATO. The original border from where this war started is very much an option. Zelensky, in comments to reporters after meeting with U.S. commander on Tuesday, said the Red Dragon leader could also help to end the biblical war. I see that the US commander is a game changer, and the Red Dragon leader can also have influence on the bear. So you need the world to stop the bear. That's how powerful the bear is. So what happens next? Despite the US commander effort, there is no sign of any let up in the fighting in Ukraine. Both sides reported more drones and missile strike on Wednesday. So I want to bring this one up. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want to show you some of this stuff here. So the US commander said Tuesday that Ukraine can reclaim all territory lost to the bear, marking a sharp shift from his earlier calls for Kiev to make concession. Now, the US commander evolving stance on the bear-Ukraine war signals a major shift in the US foreign policy with global implication. After months of pressuring Ukraine for concessions and floating the idea of territorial swaps with the bear, the US commander has now called for Ukraine to possibly reclaim lost territory and previously threatened sweeping new sanctions on the bear. So the US commander has this, he believed that Ukraine could win this war with the support of the alliances and everything could go back to the way it was. But it's just not that easy. It's not. I mean, Donald said he could end this in 24 hours. He couldn't. And now he's saying that Ukraine could get all the territory back. No. Here's the thing. I like Donald. I do. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the biblical war, he's not like King David style. King David knows how to deal with wars. Because, again, mighty warrior took down Goliath. King David was not a businessman. King David was a military soldier, a warrior, and a good leader. I mean, he put God first. Donald could be a little prideful, and the sleeping giant's the best country in the world, and this and that, MAGA, and again, you guys know the rest. But when it comes to biblical war, he's just not doing it. He's not. I mean, I give him props with the other wars that he ended, but this one here, there's no stopping it. There's no stopping the bear. The U.S. commander shared the new position in a social media post shortly after meeting with Ukrainian leader on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. I think, there you go, I think again. I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form, the U.S. commander wrote on Truth Social. Now, I remember at the very beginning of 2025, the U.S. commander told Zelensky, you can't get those territory, you lost them. You lost those territory. But now, a few months later, he's saying he thinks that Ukraine could take back those territory. Alright, so NATO, the original borders from where this war started, is very much an option. The U.S. commander continued, why not? The bear has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, war that should have taken a real military powerless than a week to win. This is not distinguishing the bear. In fact, it is very much making them look like a paper tiger. And that's what the, again, that's what the bear is responding. Yeah, we're not tiger, we're the bear. And there's no such thing as paper bear. So Donald is urging the Europeans stop buying their oil and gas. Buy ours. You buy our stuff, you can use that money profit, and we sell you equipment, and you can help Ukraine. It seems like all this is about business instead of being war. It's about making money. Now, Donald said this, in any event, I wish both countries well. We will continue to supply equipment to NATO for NATO to do what they want with them. Good luck. Good luck to all. The U.S. commander said. Now here's a picture. If you see those pink areas, all right, so you see the one at the bottom that says the bear control of territory? That's Crimea. The bear has taken over Crimea since 2014, 11 years ago. But then you have those eastern parts that was just annexed back in 2022. Now, the U.S. commander earlier this year told Zelensky, "You're not getting those territory. Forget about it. What you need to do is you need to talk with Vladimir and figure something out and end this war." But a few months later, let's go to September 23rd. The bear, I mean, Donald is having a change of a heart. And Donald is basically saying, you know what, you could take those territory back. I have faith in you. Well, here's the thing, guys. It's not going to be that easy. And it's going to be a lot of biblical war for those territory. Let me just skip some of this stuff here. I want to go to this bottom part here. So what people are saying? Well, it says here Swedish economist and Arthur Anders reacted to the U.S. commander post on Tuesday on X. How can anybody take the U.S. commander seriously on anything? Wow. The Bear politician Dmitry on X said, "The Bear ready to comply with the START Treaty, which I signed in 2010. Now, the U.S. Commander administration must decide, but adhering to the letter of the treaty isn't enough. The U.S. must give up on weakening the Bear with sanctions and tariffs. Otherwise, the risk of direct conflict remains high." So what happens next? Well, Putin has yet to publicly comment on U.S. commander statement as of Tuesday afternoon. And that's where we are right now, guys. It seems like these two, Putin and the Donald, not seeing eye to eye, and it seems like it's over. And what's next now? Well, France had done their nuclear attack drill last night over France, and you had a U.S. submarine fire multiple unarmed nuclear stuff over the Atlantic, and also I think it was Sunday, September 21st, there was a Trident ICBM that was fired over Puerto Rico. So we are definitely seeing a lot of stuff going on here, guys, when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. I will keep you updated on this news. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you again for your support, guys. Till next time later. Peace.